Hello everyone. Today we will review Johnny English Reborn. It's basically kind of like a spoof on the James Bond movies, although I think this one may be better done than some of the previous ones in the past. Although there was a large gap between the first movie and the second movie. I will be going back to review the first movie as well. I did watch it yesterday, but I wasn't able to get a review done of it because I was too busy. So I'll go back and rewatch it and do a review of it as well. So this movie starts out with Johnny English. He's been kicked out of MI7. Nobody knows where he is. He's been gone for 5 years. We find that he's in Tibet, working. He's in a monastery, training his mind and body to become stronger until MI7 calls him back into the game. So when he gets back, his mission is to find the people in this other organization called Vortex. And I guess something happened in Mozambique 5 years ago, obviously, as due to the reason why he got kicked out of MI7. So basically, this is his mission and kind of like a redemption in a way for Johnny, in order to be in the good graces of MI7. So the first mission is to find the first person who is in Vortex, and that is one of his friends, and I just looked up his name and now it's totally slipped my mind. Oh yes. So he goes to find his friend Titus. His friend Titus tells him that he's one of the members of Vortex, and he tells him that there's, I believe, 3 keys, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, one for each member of Vortex, right? So Titus is assassinated by this old Japanese lady because they go to Hong Kong. She's never really, they never say her name, they just say that she's the assassin clinging lady, which is kind of funny because she tries to assassinate them throughout the movie. And then the second man is, Johnny is able to track down the first key, but then when they're on the plane back, the key is stolen again, so when he's going to show it to the people back at MI7, nothing's there, so he's failed this mission once again. So now he has to go back and retrieve the key. And one of his good friends is still working with MI7, and his name was, yeah, right, Ambrose, Simon Ambrose. So Simon realizes that Johnny's getting close when they're having dinner to discovering who he is, because he is the third member of this organization called Vortex, right? Jeez, I couldn't think of the name for a second there. He does go meet another guy named Karlenko. I believe that was correct, Karlenko or Kolenko. These guys' names are... He was one of the Russian guys. Where is he? Yes, Karlenko. That's right. Unfortunately, Karlenko was assassinated by, yet again, the same lady from Hong Kong. She just kind of follows them around, I guess, because her job is basically to clean up any loose ends. But Karlenko does let him know that there's somebody in the KGB, somebody in the CIA, and one person in MI7 that is obviously working with Vortex. Of course, Johnny doesn't believe that it's Ambrose, even though the other agent that has been brought on to help Johnny basically throws it in his face that it is Ambrose that's been doing all the undermining deals, and he's working with a man named Slater. So at the end of the movie, they want to kill the Chinese governor, just like they did with the president in Mozambique. I believe president is the right title. I could be wrong about that, but of course, as we all know, James Bond is one for the women. So when the president of Mozambique was assassinated, Johnny was with this woman that is also part of Vortex, but not one of the main members. Unfortunately, Ambrose is able to get all 3 parts of the key because he has one, and now he has the other 2. So they're able to give Johnny this poison, like mind control poison, the same type of thing that was given to one of the men back in Mozambique that assassinated the president there. So now he's slowly being controlled, but due to his training in Tibet, his body kind of fights him on it, and then the agent that was brought in to help him, Tucker, tries to create these sound waves to control his mind in a different way. that scene was really funny. But Johnny is able to overcome it and goes to shoot Ambrose instead. Ambrose tries to escape. Johnny trails him and is able to eventually finish the job and kill the 3rd member of Vortex. One of the things in the movie was Kate, obviously Johnny's main love interest, I would say, because she falls for him, as it's kind of implied that he is like the top agent, or maybe not necessarily top agent, but kind of brings himself down a little bit throughout the movie, and she kind of builds him back up. But unfortunately, Johnny feels that that's the only person he can trust, so he goes to her when he finally discovers that for himself that Ambrose is the 3rd person in Vortex. I believe we were at that point by then. I'm not entirely sure. Or did she know? Because I'm not sure she knew until he actually said it over the loudspeaker at the end of the movie. I can't quite remember. I swear to God she knew, though, before that. But maybe she was under some sort of... No, that doesn't make... No, I'm pretty sure she did know before that. She had to have. Because, because he goes to Tucker to get him at the end of the movie to bring in Ambrose. So she must have known before that. But obviously she had been taken by Ambrose, I guess, was maybe the thing there. So she didn't really want to say for fear of being killed herself, possibly. Maybe that was the way that went. Why can't I think of how those scenes went together? Because he goes to her house, then Ambrose comes in, and Johnny's there, and he's asking her if she's seen Johnny, because he wants to ask him questions about Vortex. Right, so I think she did know. Okay. I think I'm correct on that. I think she did know. But yeah, at the end of the movie, Johnny does die for a few seconds, but this girl, Kate, kisses him because he goes to her house to explain to her about Vortex and all that. And they end up having dinner together, and so she kisses him at the end of the movie, and that kind of brings him back to life before he goes after Ambrose and eventually finishes the job. And then at the end scene, he's being knighted by the Queen. And I believe he was knighted in the first movie anyway, so maybe this was just like a honorary thing. I'm not really sure how that goes. But anyway, it ends up being the cleaning lady from one of the very first scenes. And he ends up grabbing the wrong woman again because he did the same thing at the one woman's house that works with MI7. Why can't I think of her name? It was Gillian Anderson's character. Pegasus, right. Pegasus was her name. He does the same thing at her house and keeps grabbing her mother even though the assassin is in there. And he does the same thing at the royal palace. Grabs the queen and beats her up instead of the actual assassin. And she comes into the room from the other side. So at least they finally know that she was really there for real. But yeah, this movie, comedy-wise, and it did have quite a bit of action in it, actually, compared to the first one. So yeah, I would say this movie was definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. Just because there were some parts where it seemed to kind of drag on forever, but the comedy in this is golden. So for that, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. And just for the lull in scenes, I guess is the right word, or the time it took between some scenes kind of dragged out a little bit, but other than that, this movie is fantastic. Definitely go see it if you're a fan of Rowan Atkinson. And yeah, that's all I have to say for this movie. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.